Japan will be facing France in the next match for the round 2 of the World Cup. With the victory of 4-0 against Nigeria, Japan leads and goes to the second round. We also see the reaction of Bunny, Sai, Kaiser, Loki, Charles, and a new Gen 11 player that has been introduced in this chapter from France. Let's get right into it. Chapter 326, titled Kola. The chapter starts off with the victory celebration from the Japanese team, and we can see Isagi's parents cheering along with Bachira's mom. As the commentators say, with a final goal from Japan's young ace, Blue Lock Japan seizes an overwhelming victory over Nigeria in the first round. As he says that he knew that he would give that pass, and Bachira, as Bachira says, that he's the only one who could pull off that egoist stunt. Also, Kuroharanse tagging along with them in the victory celebration, and we can see Raichi in the background saying that his defense is the reason that Nigeria was not able to score. We can also see a frustrated reaction or a smug reaction from Red as well. And we can see on the benches, we can see Baro and Shiro giving their own perspective on this, where Baro says that this is an annoying, shitty game, and Shiro says that this was also exhilarating for him. And our captain, Aiku, comes over and talks to Isagi, saying that that was a crazy technique that he just tried out, and how much of it was his plan. Then Isagi says, none of it was his plan, but that last shot was a total ad-lib. As he then explains that he wasn't expecting Onazi, he was expecting Onazi to have an awakening, but he really had no idea until that moment that he would make a shot in that trap. As then he says, the moment he saw that, he was inspired to make a similar move for himself. Then Oliver Aiku thinks to himself that his imagination and inspiration speed is far greater than what he had imagined, and his egotism can even overcome or can even devour Ego's entire plan. Then Isagi says that this was all thanks to the captain, that is Aiku, that he was able to test this. Then we see the Nigerian team in despair, where they say that this was utter shutdown and we were totally obliterated. And Kuso says that they devoured all of us, our fire, our ego, and they say Onazi's evolution was also devoured by Isagi. Kuso then also goes on to explain that he made sure that Onazi had an awakening. He drew out the awakening and made it look like that he was gathering information for the Japanese team. And in the end, all of that was an exploit to help him grow. And that he is crazy and he's horrifying soccer machine. And we see Onazi also chime in by saying that Isagi is horrifying, and the fact that Onazi also chimes in by saying that yes, he is horrifying, and that they met him in this tiny world of theirs. And he says that he smashed about the tiny world and he is the ultimate soccer player that we have met. And Onazi says thank you to Isagi Yoichi, and he says that he's glad that he have met him there. Then Isagi asks, was it a good memory? Then Onazi says, as Onazi replies by saying that this was not a good memory and this is not an end to the memory. And he is saying that he will surpass him one day, and for him to just wait. As Isagi says, that's the egotistical curiosity he wants to see in everyone. And he says, let's meet again. Then we cut back to a scene where the match is going on screen, and we see a guy holding a can, which is shown to be Kaiser. As he says, quit smiling Yoichi, and that he's very angry that he can't even drink his cola. So I think this was the reference to the name of the chapter. Then we also cut back to a scene of Sai Itoshi watching the match, as he seems to be bored, as he says that they could have won 8-0, which explains that according to Sai's view, that they had 8 opportunities to score and they could have scored all the 8 of them. So what this shows is that according to Itoshi Sai's vision, there were 8 chances or 8 goal opportunities that they could have scored. That is 4 more opportunities that Blue Lock had missed, which could have been a clear shot goal. Then you can see Bunny Iglesias watching this match and recognizing Isagi from the time they met in Spain. And as he says, so that kid is from before, and he reminisces that point of meet. As he says, oh, so you are one of us. I think the statement that he's one of us shows that he is also an adaptive learner. Then we cut off to Charles, where Charles asks Loki what does he think of the Japanese team's level. As he says that they are small fries with nothing but passion and topicality. And Charles says that they have got guys like Shido and he can't wait to fight with him. and we are going to play Japan in the next match. Then Loki then says that, well, on a personal level, he would want to face Isagi Yoichi again, and to ask him if he still believes that Loki is was just some guy who was born to be fast. Then we see someone sitting on the bench, as the guy in the bench says that, is the Isagi Yoichi guy really that interesting, Loki? And then Loki asks a question to the guy in the bench, asking, how does he look to you? And we can see the name of the person on the bench as Hugo, and a description saying that he is one of the new generation 11 from France. And the response from that guy named Hugo is that he's totally unsuitable. Maybe he's saying that he's unsuitable to be one of the adaptive learners or something. I'm not sure, but we might get into more insights when the match starts between France. And I think this is a match that there is a potential of bluelock losing, because France is going to be one of the toughest opponents, as they have this Hugo guy who is another user 11, Loki, and Charles. And as it is in France, we can be pretty sure that the whole team is going to be filled with pretty amazing players, and it won't be an easy victory as Japan had against Nigeria. And let's hope to have a good match. And I hope the match starts next week, but we're not sure about it. And there is no break next week. And so we'll have the next chapter in the next 7 days. So until next time, see you and bye bye.